The bright red sun of Proxima Centauri cast long shadows across the small research outpost, where 8-year-old Mina Kim spent her days watching her parents work. The human colony was small, just 30 scientists and their families studying this distant world. Mina loved to collect rock samples and help her father analyze them in his lab. "Look what I found today, Dad." Mina held up a glittering blue stone that seemed to pulse with inner light. Dr. Tae Kim smiled and took the stone, examining it under his microscope. "This is fascinating, Mina. The mineral structure is unlike anything we've cataloged before." Life at the outpost was simple but happy. Earth had only recently begun sending small scientific teams to nearby star systems, careful to keep a low profile. Most humans didn't know that their government had detected signals from advanced civilizations decades ago, and had decided to expand cautiously. That afternoon, Mina was helping her mother in the greenhouse when the alarms began to wail. Through the transparent dome, she saw strange ships appear in the sky, sleek and predatory with designs unlike any human vessel. "Inside now." Dr. Ju Kim grabbed her daughter's hand and pulled her toward the main building. Around them, other colonists were running for shelter. The first energy blast hit the communications tower, shattering it instantly. The second struck the greenhouse, sending glass and metal flying in all directions. Mina's mother shielded her, with her body as they ran. Inside the main building, chaos reigned. The outpost director was shouting orders while scientists frantically backed up data. "They came without warning," someone cried. "No communication attempts." Mina's father burst through a side door, his face pale with fear. "The emergency ship is prepped. We need to get Mina on it now." The ground shook as another blast hit dangerously close to the main building. The lights flickered and died, replaced by dim emergency lighting. "Why are they attacking us?" Mina asked, her voice small with fear. Her father knelt beside her. "Some beings fear what they don't understand, Mina. Or they simply don't care about those they see as beneath them." The family raced through underground tunnels connecting the main building to the small landing pad where the emergency escape vessel waited. It was barely larger than a shuttle, designed to carry critical research data back to Earth in case of natural disasters. No one had imagined it would be needed for this. "The ship can only carry one person," Dr. Tae told his wife as they reached the launch bay. The grim understanding that passed between Mina's parents needed no words. Outside, the attack intensified. The alien ships, belonging to what Mina would later learn was called the Galactic Hegemony, methodically destroyed each building. They considered humans nothing more than pests who had stepped beyond their proper boundaries. "Mina, listen carefully," her mother said, gripping her shoulders. "The ship will take you home. The AI will handle everything." "I don't want to go without you," Mina cried, clinging to her mother. Her father was already programming the ship's computer. "Eagle AI, activate emergency protocol. Passenger, Mina Kim. Destination, Earth Defense Command, Geneva Station." "Protocol activated," responded the ship's artificial intelligence. "Stasis systems online." Another explosion rocked the facility, closer this time. Part of the ceiling collapsed near the entrance. "We don't have much time," Dr. Tae said, his voice breaking. He lifted Mina into the small craft and secured her in the single seat. Her mother pressed something into Mina's hand, a small pendant containing soil from their garden. To remember that good things can grow anywhere, even far from home. The ship's canopy began to close as Mina screamed for her parents. The last image she saw was her mother and father standing hand in hand as smoke filled the launch bay. "Initiating stasis," said the AI. "Vital signs stabilizing." As Mina's consciousness faded, the ship's sensors recorded everything. The complete destruction of the outpost, the casual way the hegemony ships departed afterward, not bothering to check for survivors or even to claim the planet. The small craft slipped away unnoticed, carrying its precious cargo, a wounded child and irrefutable evidence of an unprovoked attack. As Mina drifted in stasis, badly injured but alive, the ship accelerated beyond light speed, beginning the long journey to Earth. In her dreams, Mina saw her parents' faces and heard her mother's final words. "Be brave, little one. Someday they'll understand what they've done. The ship sped through the darkness between stars, its distress beacon broadcasting a message that would forever change humanity's place in the galaxy. The sleek emergency vessel carrying Mina entered Earth's solar system 3 weeks after the attack. Defense satellites detected its approach and scrambled interceptors before identifying its human origin. Admiral Day Park stood in the command center of Geneva Station as reports came in. "Sir, it's one of our emergency courier ships from Proxima Centauri," reported Lieutenant Jin Lee. "It's broadcasting a Priority 1 distress signal." Admiral Park frowned. The Proxima research outpost wasn't scheduled to report for another month. "Bring it in carefully. Full quarantine protocols." When the medical team opened the small craft, they found Mina unconscious in the stasis chamber. Her vital signs were weak but stable. The ship's AI had kept her alive despite serious injuries. "There's a child in here?" exclaimed the lead medic.
"Severe trauma, multiple fractures, radiation exposure." As doctors rushed Mina to emergency care, Admiral Park ordered the ship's data cores extracted.
Within hours, he stood in a secure room with Earth's Defense Council, watching the horrifying footage captured by the vessel. The images showed the complete destruction of the Proxima outpost, alien ships methodically targeting buildings, scientists running for cover, Mina's parents sacrificing themselves to save their daughter. "Play it again," ordered General Sun Lee, her face grim. As the senior military commander of Earth's forces, she needed to be certain. The council watched in silence. There had been no warning, no attempt at communication, just ruthless efficiency in eliminating what the aliens clearly considered an insignificant human presence. "We've identified the aggressors," said Intelligence Director Han Yu. "They match our deep space monitoring records of the Galactic Hegemony, a coalition of species controlling most of the Milky Way." Admiral Park's hands tightened into fists. "They attacked civilians, scientists, a child." Within hours, footage of Mina's rescue spread worldwide. News channels showed the small girl floating in a medical regeneration chamber, fighting for her life. Her image became a powerful symbol that united humanity in ways no politician ever could. 3 days later, Admiral Park called an emergency session of the United Nations Security Council. Representatives from every nation gathered as Park approached the podium. "For 200 years, he began, Earth has maintained Operation Silent Shield, a contingency plan implemented when we first detected signals from advanced civilizations. While presenting ourselves as a species just beginning to explore beyond our solar system, we have secretly prepared for this day." Gasps filled the chamber as Park activated his terminal. The main display showed massive underground facilities on the Moon, Mars, and throughout the asteroid belt. "The hegemony believes they attacked a primitive species with a handful of scientific outposts," Park continued. "They will soon learn they have attacked a civilization with 500,000 warships ready for deployment." The display showed vast shipyards hidden within hollowed-out asteroids and beneath the surfaces of moons. Throughout the solar system, ships unlike anything publicly known, sleek, powerful vessels representing technologies most humans had no idea their governments possessed. "How is this possible?" demanded the representative from Brazil. "Such a program would require resources beyond imagination." "International cooperation at the highest levels," Park replied. "Every major nation has contributed. The asteroid mining operations, publicly acknowledged as commercial ventures, have actually been building our fleet for generations." In her medical chamber, Mina Kim floated between life and death, unaware that her survival had become the rallying cry for humanity's response. 1 week after the attack, Mina opened her eyes for the first time. A nurse was checking her vital signs when the child whispered, "My parents?" The nurse called for the doctor, unable to answer. That same day, Ambassador Wan Yun arrived at the coordinates where the hegemony maintained a small monitoring outpost at the edge of the solar system. His message was simple: acknowledge the crime against the Proxima outpost and surrender those responsible. The hegemony representatives dismissed him with contempt. "Your species should be grateful we only eliminated one unauthorized settlement," their administrator replied. "Return to your planet and remember your place. Ambassador Yoon nodded calmly, activated his communicator, and spoke 6 words that would change the course of galactic history. Admiral Park, they have refused terms. Throughout the solar system, hidden shipyards activated deployment sequences. Earth was going to war. The quiet humming of machinery filled the vast underground chamber beneath the lunar surface. Commander Hyun Cho walked along the catwalk overlooking the massive shipyard, where thousands of workers prepared Earth's hidden fleet for deployment. For generations, humanity had been building in secret, constructing vessels with technology far beyond what they publicly acknowledged. "Status report," Commander Cho demanded as he entered the control center. Lieutenant Jin Park straightened at her console. "Dreadnought Division Alpha reports 98% combat readiness. The last weapon systems are being calibrated now." Commander Cho nodded, his face reflecting the blue glow of holographic displays showing similar scenes playing out across the solar system. In the rings of Saturn, inside hollowed asteroids, beneath the Martian poles, humanity's true technological achievements were emerging from hiding. "How many ships can we deploy in the first wave?" he asked. 50,000 immediately, answered Jin. The remaining 450,000 will follow in coordinated waves over the next 72 hours. On Earth, in a specialized medical facility in Geneva, Mina Kim floated in a healing chamber. The doctors had managed to save her life, but her injuries were severe. Her small body was wrapped in regenerative bandages, with medical nanobots working to repair damaged tissue. Dr. Su Min checked Mina's vital signs and made notes on her tablet. In the 3 weeks since her arrival, the child had become a powerful symbol for humanity. Her image, a small girl fighting for survival after an unprovoked alien attack, had united Earth in a way nothing else could have. "How is she today?" asked Admiral Park, entering the room quietly. "Stronger," Dr. Su replied. "She woke briefly yesterday and asked about her parents." The Admiral's face darkened. "What did you tell her?" "The truth. She deserved that much." Across the room, the medical monitors beeped steadily as Mina stirred in her healing sleep. The doctors had induced a controlled coma to help her body recover, but she sometimes drifted close to consciousness. In her dreams, Mina saw fragments of memories: her mother's smile, her father's voice, the red sun of Proxima Centauri shining on their small colony. Then the dreams would darken, filled with fire and the strange shapes of alien ships. High above Earth, in the orbital command center, General Sun Lee oversaw the coordination of humanity's response. The massive display before her showed the positions of Earth's hidden fleet as ships emerged from concealment throughout the solar system. "The hegemony still has no idea what's coming," reported her aide. "Their observation post at the edge of our system continues normal operations." Sun nodded grimly. "Good. Maintain communications blackout. No ship is to transmit unless absolutely necessary." The general turned to a smaller screen showing Mina's medical readings. Like many in Earth's leadership, she had taken a personal interest in the child's recovery. In some ways, Mina had become the daughter of all humanity, the innocent victim whose suffering demanded justice. "When will Ambassador Yoon reach the Hegemony Central Council?" Sun asked. 3 days, General. His ship will arrive at their capital, world on schedule. At the edge of the solar system, Ambassador Won Yoon sat in his quarters aboard the diplomatic vessel Olive Branch. To any observer, it appeared to be a simple diplomatic ship, Earth's first attempt to establish formal contact with the galactic hegemony. In reality, it carried advanced stealth technology and served as the forward observer for humanity's coming attack. Ambassador Yoon reviewed the demands he would present: acknowledge the crime against Proxima Outpost, surrender those responsible, and provide reparations for the families affected. He knew the hegemony would refuse. Their intercepted communications showed they considered humans barely worthy of notice, an annoying species that had ventured beyond its proper boundaries. What the hegemony didn't know was that humanity had been monitoring their communications for decades, learning their language, studying their technology, and mapping their territory. The public face of human civilization, a species just beginning to explore beyond its solar system, was a carefully constructed facade. As Mina Kim fought for her life in her medical chamber on Earth, the greatest armada in human history prepared to reveal itself to the galaxy. 500,000 warships, hidden for generations, now stood ready to teach the galactic hegemony a painful lesson about underestimating humanity. The hegemony capital world gleamed like a jewel in space, its orbital rings bustling with traffic from 100 different species. In the High Council chamber, the leaders of the galaxy's dominant power discussed minor trade disputes and colonial policies. None paid much attention to the human ambassador who had arrived 3 days ago with absurd demands about some insignificant outpost. "The human representative requests an audience again," reported a junior administrator with obvious annoyance. "Tell them we will consider their petition next standard month," replied Grand Administrator Vorex dismissively. "These primitives must learn patience." The chamber's emergency alert system suddenly blared to life. On the massive display screens, security officers appeared with panicked expressions. Multiple spatial anomalies detected, thousands of unknown vessels appearing in formation around the capital. The council members rose from their seats in confusion as the screens showed the impossible sight. Perfect geometric patterns of massive ships materialized around their world, their black hulls absorbing rather than reflecting light. Grand Admiral Ju Shin's calm voice echoed through the hegemony's communication networks. "This is Earth Defense Fleet Alpha. Your central defense grid has been targeted. Stand down immediately." In orbit, hegemony warships scrambled to respond, but found their weapon systems locked and inoperable. Somehow the human vessels had deployed countermeasures before they had even fully emerged from hyperspace. A single human shuttle broke from the formation and approached the council chamber's private dock. The council members watched in stunned silence as Ambassador Wan Yun entered, now accompanied by 6 human officers in formal military dress. 3 days ago, I presented terms for peaceful resolution, Ambassador Yun stated calmly. You chose to dismiss them. Now I present the same terms, but circumstances have changed. Across hegemony space, similar scenes played out simultaneously. Human fleets appeared at every major military installation, commercial hub, and command center. Earth had mapped the hegemony's infrastructure through decades of secret observation, placing stealth platforms throughout their territory while appearing technologically primitive. On the hegemony border world Krell 6, Commander Hyun Cho's fleet disabled the planet's orbital defense network in less than 5 minutes without firing a single lethal shot. "All hegemony vessels neutralized," reported Lieutenant Jin. "Their crews are unharmed but unable to access any systems." Commander Cho nodded. "Broadcast the standard message. Let them know this is in response to the Proxima attack." In her hospital room on Earth, Mina Kim opened her eyes for the first time in weeks. The doctors had finally deemed it safe to bring her out of the induced coma. Her small body was healing, though scars remained both visible and hidden. Dr. Su smiled down at her. "Welcome back, Mina. You've been very brave." Mina's voice was weak when she finally spoke. "My parents, they're really gone, aren't they?" Dr. Su nodded sadly. "Yes, but you're not alone. Everyone on Earth knows your story now." The doctor gently helped Mina sit up so she could see the holographic display on the wall. It showed Earth's fleets engaging hegemony forces across the galaxy, not with destruction but with precise, overwhelming control. Human ships disabled rather than destroyed their opponents, demonstrating power without unnecessary bloodshed. "What's happening?" Mina asked, her eyes wide. "Justice," Dr. Su replied simply, "and maybe a chance for peace." In the Hegemony High Command Center, Military Governor Zeltz watched in fury as reports of defeat flooded in from across their territory. Unlike the political leaders who had already begun peace negotiations, Zeltz refused to accept humiliation at the hands of what he considered an inferior species. "Activate Project Terminus," he ordered his loyal officers. "If we cannot have dominance, then the humans shall have oblivion." Deep within secret hegemony facilities, planet-killer weapons, devices capable of destroying entire worlds, powered up and aimed toward Earth. Zeltz smiled grimly as the countdown began. The humans might have surprised them with their hidden fleet, but they would soon learn the true might of the hegemony. What Zelts didn't know was that Earth had discovered Project Terminus years ago. As the deadly weapons launched, human defensive systems were already moving to intercept. The silence in Earth's orbital diplomatic station was broken only by the soft hum of life support systems. Through the vast observation windows, thousands of ships from both human and hegemony fleets floated in formation, a visual reminder of the new balance of power. 3 months had passed since the day humanity revealed its true strength. Admiral Day Park stood at the head of the conference table, his uniform crisp and formal. Across from him sat the new hegemony leadership, moderates who had overthrown military governor Zelts after his failed attempt to deploy planet killers against Earth. The Project Terminus weapons had been intercepted with such ease that many hegemony species now viewed humans with a mixture of fear and respect. The terms of the Kim Accords are non-negotiable, Admiral Park stated firmly. Earth will take its rightful place in galactic governance, and there will be lasting consequences for unprovoked aggression against civilian outposts. The hegemony representatives nodded in reluctant agreement. Their civilization had ruled the galaxy for millennia, never imagining that humans, a species they had classified as barely worth monitoring, had been watching them and preparing all along. "We accept your terms," said the new Grand Administrator. "The hegemony formally acknowledges its crime against your Proxima outpost and offers reparations." A side door opened, and a small figure entered the chamber, walking slowly with the assistance of a medical exoskeleton. 9-year-old Mina Kim had insisted on attending the signing ceremony. Though her body was still healing, her presence at the negotiations had been powerful, a constant reminder of the human lives behind the diplomatic language. "This is Mina Kim," Admiral Park introduced her, "the sole survivor of your attack. The Accords will bear her family name as a permanent reminder of what happens when innocent lives are disregarded." The hegemony representatives looked uncomfortable as they faced the child. One of them, an older female from a species known for their empathic abilities, approached Mina and bowed deeply. "On behalf of all civilized beings in the galaxy, I offer our deepest regrets," she said. "No words can undo what was done to your family and friends." Mina looked at the alien with steady eyes. "My mother used to say that understanding others is the first step to peace. I hope we can learn to understand each other." The signing ceremony proceeded with representatives from 50 major galactic powers witnessing the creation of the new Galactic Cooperative, a governing body where Earth would stand as an equal founding member rather than a subject race. 20 years later, Ambassador Mina Kim stood on the observation deck of the UES Reconciliation, Earth's diplomatic flagship. At 29, she had become one of humanity's most respected representatives. The scars on her body had faded with advanced medical treatments, though she still occasionally felt phantom pain from her childhood injuries. Behind her vessel, a contingent of Earth's defense fleet maintained watch, a small fraction of humanity's armada, but a silent reminder of their readiness to defend their place in the cosmos. "Ambassador, the Rigelian delegation has arrived," reported her aide. "They're requesting your mediation in their territorial dispute with the former hegemony worlds." Mina nodded. "Tell them I'll be there shortly." She touched the pendant she always wore, a small clear crystal containing soil from the Proxima outpost where she had spent her early childhood. It was a reminder of what was lost and what was gained. In the 2 decades since the Kim Accords, the galaxy had transformed. The hegemony's empire had given way to a more balanced power structure. Earth had revealed its technological advancements, gradually sharing medical and environmental technologies while maintaining its military edge. Mina looked out at the stars, thinking of her parents. They would never know that their sacrifice had not only saved their daughter, but had ultimately led to a more just galactic order. Humanity had proven itself capable of overwhelming force, but had chosen to temper that strength with wisdom. "They're ready for you now, Ambassador," her aide reminded her. Mina turned from the viewport and walked toward the conference room, ready to continue building the peace that had emerged from humanity's darkest hour.